morning. Today is our mentoring session for Standard 8. This is called Instructional Strategies. How did I do, Mr. Borden?
You did very good. This is always, anytime you get into Newton's Law, there's so many different things you could pull into it. All the kids, even if they aren't sure what it is, they've heard about it. You did really good. We're going to start off with the first one, asking questions. The biggest thing that I liked about it, even during your session about asking questions, is you made it very clear by having the questions on the board, even to the point, okay, now this is what I want you to look at to research. Mm-hmm. So that way they can constantly go back to it and you don't get into the thing. What was that question again? What was that question again? So you did really, really good there. What I liked also and noticed is that even with your question, it was almost like, I wasn't sure if you wanted them to put it on paper or what, but they went straight into collaboration. Like, okay, now they're well-tuned. They know exactly what to do when that question is asked. In that area, I'm going to go ahead and give it outstanding on that. Because once again, it was modeled, you responded back to them, and then you had it on the board. They had everything they needed to do the task. The next one is engaging students in skill development. That the candidate's lesson helps students learn to access, interpret, evaluate, and apply information. I liked it because your second set of questions made them research. It made them get online. Mm-hmm. Then you also had them apply it in situations. You gave them examples with Newton's Law, is in effect. So I really like that. Also, it was good engagement. I always love seeing the kids using technology because they're going to be using technology forever. And they looked like they really knew how to research things. So you did good there.
Thank you.
I'm putting outstanding on that also. The role in the instructional process, did the candidate use direct instruction and coaching appropriately during the instruction? Again, everything tied together. You asked the questions, and even when you had to control the class with classroom management, it was such a flow, it was fast, it didn't take away at all from the learning. When you went around, I like how sometimes as teachers we could get into the mode of picking the same person over and over and over, and you, every time I see you, you're picking, different students. And the great thing too that you're doing is that once a student gives an answer, you always acknowledge them. Even if that answer isn't the correct answer, sometimes as teachers we can give that face like, where did that come from? But I have yet to see you do that. Perfect. It was great instruction, and they really looked like they enjoyed it. Anyone that did need help, you were there to give them that help. We give you proficient in that, roles in the process. And then monitoring students' learning. I always see you walking around. You're monitoring it by asking that question. It's, you're getting that assessment on the fly. And it's really good because then you kind of know, okay, does he really know it? Do I need to add something to it? So, you completely adjust. And even with the equipment that we have, the resources are limited. But by you bringing in real world experiences, you bringing in your experiences, and this the question and answering, you've used all the different strategies. Again, you've used technology. You brought in the ELA. I like the part where you even brought in some history. You used cross-curricular things where you talked about the church and what part it had. So you brought in all kind of different things that all the kids from different cultures or, wherever they are in the community, they had the opportunity maybe to connect with what you were talking about. So good. I'm going to go outstanding on that one. Adapting instruction to students' needs. You had paper for them, to write on, an option. You could have made them put something on the Google Doc, but the paper, which I think is good, keep them in those writing skills. The computers to do research, to go into different areas, the collaboration, all the key things that we need whenever we're instructing the students to try to make sure that they have what they need and they're getting the info. You did that very well, very, very well. I'm not sure, do you use Google Classroom?
I really don't.
You don't? Okay. In the future, I mean, what's going to be good with this, if I pronounce it right, this Schoology,
Yes.
okay? What's going to be good about that is some of the things, if you're using some kind of formative, such as a multiple choice or something, or some kind of test, it'll be able to grade it for you. And now, the difference between Schoology and Google Classroom, a lot of times you still have to go put it in the grade book. Schoology, once it's graded, it's automatically going into the grade book. So that's going to take a step out. You know, it might be something you want to look at, you know, maybe during the summer. You know, it helps cut down on some of the things you have to do. Again, I'm going to go put another outstanding there. And I love the lesson. Watch it every week as it begins to grow, especially students at these ages, 7th and 8th grade. You know, it can be difficult, but you give them enough freedom where they could, you know, express their thoughts and ideas. So I think you really did well in this lesson.
Well, awesome. Yeah, well, I appreciate all that. Yeah, and what I've heard about the Schoology, like you said, easier for us. That
Yeah.
should be the bottom line.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've had a handful of trainings on that, and I know it's going to be used exclusively next
Yes.
year, so
Yes.
I'll adjust as that comes. But yeah, to help both us and the students, you know, I'm always up for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, that
Alrighty.
ends today. Thank you.
See you later.